Have you ever felt like life after 60 is a chance to hit the reset button? For many of us, this stage feels like a new chapter, a time to let go of the things that no longer serve us and focus on what truly matters. Today, I'm sharing 6 life-changing habits I stopped doing after 60 that brought me more peace, joy, and freedom. Which of these changes resonate with you? Let us know where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more inspiring content. Now, let's dive in and explore the first empowering shift you can make today: letting go of what others think. 1. Letting go of what others think. One of the greatest freedoms that comes with age is the ability to let go of what others think. By the time we reach 60, the pressure to meet societal expectations begins to fade. In our younger years, we often live as though we're under constant scrutiny, adjusting our choices to gain approval, whether it's dressing to impress, pursuing specific goals to appear successful, or holding back our true thoughts out of fear of judgment. But here's the truth: most people aren't paying as much attention as we think they are. This realization is liberating. It shifts our focus from external validation to internal fulfillment. We start prioritizing what makes us happy rather than what we believe will impress others. For example, instead of choosing fashion over comfort, we unapologetically opt for outfits that feel good to wear. Instead of censoring our thoughts to avoid judgment, we speak our truths with confidence. And instead of following trends, we lean into the hobbies, passions, and activities that truly light us up. Letting go of this need for approval also opens the door to deeper connections. When we're no longer trying to fit into a mold, we attract people who appreciate us for who we are, not who we're pretending to be. These authentic relationships are more meaningful and rewarding because they're built on mutual respect and honesty. Take Susan, for instance, a retired teacher who spent decades worrying about how she presented herself in social settings. At 62, she decided to embrace her natural look, wearing her hair gray for the first time. "I stopped coloring my hair because it just didn't feel like me anymore," she explained. What's amazing is how freeing it felt, and how many people said they admired my confidence. Susan's choice not only boosted her self-esteem, but also encouraged others around her to live authentically. Another benefit of letting go is the emotional energy we reclaim. When we're no longer concerned with keeping up appearances or trying to impress, we can channel that energy into things that truly matter. Whether it's nurturing close relationships, exploring new interests, or simply enjoying the present moment. This shift allows us to find joy in the small things that bring us peace, like a quiet morning walk, a heartfelt conversation, or simply being at ease with ourselves. Of course, letting go doesn't mean becoming indifferent to others. It's not about ignoring feedback or closing ourselves off from connection. Rather, it's about recognizing that our worth isn't tied to others' opinions. It's understanding that living authentically is the greatest form of self-respect, and that when we respect ourselves, we inspire others to do the same. At 60 and beyond, letting go of what others think is a gift of self-discovery. It allows us to step into who we truly are and embrace life with courage, confidence, and joy. And once we let go of this burden, we're ready to face the next liberating change: saying no to toxic people. 2. Saying no to toxic people. As we grow older, especially after 60, the tolerance for negativity diminishes. Over the years, we often endure toxic relationships out of obligation, guilt, or the hope that things will improve. Whether it's a manipulative friend, a demanding boss, or even a draining family member, these connections can take a significant toll on our emotional well-being. But with age comes the wisdom to recognize this truth. Life is too short to spend it surrounded by negativity. This realization prompts a powerful shift, setting boundaries and, when necessary, walking away. Saying no to toxic people is not about abandoning relationships lightly. It's about prioritizing emotional health and peace of mind. Imagine having a friend who constantly criticizes or leaves you feeling drained after every interaction. For years, you may have endured this behavior, believing it was your duty to maintain the friendship. But at 60, you realize that releasing this bond isn't selfish. It's self-care. When we remove toxic influences, we create space for uplifting, positive connections. These healthier relationships bring joy, support, and mutual respect. Consider Carla, a retired nurse who spent decades managing a strained relationship with a cousin. "I always felt obligated to stay in touch because we were family," Carla recalls. "But every phone call left me feeling worse, not better." After stepping back and setting clear boundaries, Carla found she had more energy to invest in friendships that truly enriched her life. Saying no to toxic people is not easy, especially when it involves close family members. However, it's important to remember that setting boundaries doesn't mean cutting ties entirely. It means defining how much access and influence these individuals have over your life. You might choose to limit interactions to brief, infrequent meetings, or simply stop engaging in conversations that lead to conflict. These small steps protect your emotional health without severing ties completely. The benefits of this shift are profound. Letting go of toxicity reduces stress, improves mental clarity, and allows us to focus on the relationships that truly matter. It's about choosing peace over drama, kindness over conflict. When we no longer feel obligated to manage toxic relationships, we can redirect our energy toward nurturing connections with people who genuinely care. This change not only enhances personal well-being, but also inspires those around us to value their own emotional health. Of course, this process takes courage. It requires us to be honest with ourselves about the relationships that drain us and to act with confidence when it's time to say no. Yet once we do, we often wonder why we waited so long. The peace that follows is worth every uncomfortable conversation, every moment of self-doubt. After 60, life becomes about cherishing the things that uplift us. By letting go of toxic people, we make room for authentic relationships and experiences that bring joy and fulfillment. And with this newfound peace, we're ready to embrace the next change, releasing unrealistic expectations of others. 3. Releasing unrealistic expectations. By the time we reach 60, life has taught us a valuable lesson. No one is perfect. Not our partners, friends, family members, or even ourselves. In our younger years, it's easy to expect too much from those around us, assuming they should always understand us, meet our needs, or behave the way we think they should. But these unrealistic expectations often lead to frustration and disappointment when people inevitably fall short. Releasing these expectations is transformative. Instead of focusing on what others aren't doing, we begin to appreciate their small acts of kindness and the effort behind them. Take a spouse, for instance. Perhaps in the past, you felt disappointed when they forgot a special occasion or didn't express love in the exact way you hoped. At 60, the focus shifts to the intention behind their actions, the little things they do every day to show they care, like making your morning coffee or asking about your day. These gestures, while imperfect, become far more meaningful when we view them through a lens of gratitude rather than criticism. This mindset also extends to friendships and family relationships. No longer do we expect friends to be available at all times, or family members to fulfill roles they may not be equipped to handle. Instead, we accept people as they are, flaws and all. This shift not only eases tension, but also strengthens bonds. When we stop trying to change others, we allow them to show up authentically, and in turn, our relationships become more harmonious. Consider Michael, a grandfather who once expected his children to visit every weekend. "I used to feel hurt when they didn't come by as often as I thought they should," he admits. "But I realized they were juggling careers, kids, and their own lives. Now I cherish the time we do have together, even if it's not as frequent as I'd like." Michael's acceptance brought peace to his heart and warmth to his relationships. Releasing unrealistic expectations also teaches us to be kinder to ourselves. We learn that it's okay to make mistakes, to not have all the answers, and to grow at our own pace. This self-compassion creates a ripple effect, making it easier to extend grace to those around us. As we let go of impossible standards, we free ourselves from the weight of disappointment and open the door to deeper connection and understanding. This newfound perspective allows us to live with greater peace and fulfillment, paving the way for the next important shift: slowing down and embracing rest. Fourth, slowing down and embracing rest. In the hustle and bustle of our younger years, busyness often feels like a badge of honor. From juggling work deadlines to attending endless social events, we equate productivity with purpose and success. But by the time we reach 60, the constant rush begins to lose its appeal. The realization dawns that life isn't about how much we accomplish, but how fully we experience each moment. Slowing down is not about doing nothing. It's about being intentional with our time. It's about savoring the small joys that we once overlooked in our haste. Imagine starting your day with a quiet cup of coffee on the porch, watching the sunrise instead of scrolling through emails, or having a leisurely conversation with a loved one, free from distractions. These moments of stillness allow us to reconnect with ourselves and the world around us, creating a sense of peace and fulfillment that no packed schedule can offer. The beauty of slowing down is that it shifts our focus from quantity to quality. Instead of trying to do it all, we choose to invest our energy in the things that truly matter. For example, a walk in nature becomes an opportunity to appreciate the beauty around us, from the rustling of leaves to the sound of birdsong. These simple pleasures, once overshadowed by the demands of a busy life, take on a newfound richness. For Mary, a retired accountant, embracing rest transformed her days. "I used to feel guilty if I wasn't constantly checking things off my to-do list," she shares. "But now I give myself permission to pause. I read books, tend to my garden, or just sit and reflect. It's incredible how much more content I feel." Slowing down doesn't mean abandoning productivity. It means redefining it. After 60, we become more discerning about how we spend our time. We learn to say no to unnecessary commitments and yes to activities that bring joy and meaning. This balance allows us to fully engage with life without feeling overwhelmed by it. When we embrace rest, we also give ourselves space to heal and grow. Moments of quiet reflection can bring clarity, helping us prioritize what truly matters. And as we let go of the need to always be on the move, we discover a profound sense of freedom. Slowing down is a gift we give ourselves, a chance to savor life instead of rushing through it. With this new mindset, we're ready to explore the next transformative change: disengaging from unnecessary debates. 5. Disengaging from unnecessary debates. As we grow older, the need to prove a point or win an argument starts to fade. In our younger years, we might have seen debates as a way to assert ourselves or solidify our beliefs. But by the time we reach 60, we realize that not every disagreement is worth the energy. The wisdom of experience teaches us that endless arguments rarely change anyone's mind and often leave us feeling drained. Instead of engaging in every heated discussion, we start to focus on conversations that matter, those that foster connection and mutual understanding. This doesn't mean we stop caring about important issues. Rather, we become selective about where we invest our emotional and mental energy. For instance, when discussing politics, instead of trying to convince someone to see things our way, we might choose to listen to their perspective with curiosity. This shift doesn't require agreement, but demonstrates respect, which often leads to more meaningful and peaceful interactions. Disengaging from unnecessary debates doesn't mean avoiding difficult conversations altogether. It's about recognizing when a discussion is productive and when it's not. If the goal is simply to win or to prove someone wrong, the argument is unlikely to bring value. However, when the focus is on learning and sharing ideas, the exchange can be enriching. Take Richard, for example, a retired engineer who spent much of his life debating colleagues and family on nearly every topic. "I used to think it was my job to correct everyone," he admits. "But now I choose my battles. Most of the time, I just let things go, and I'm much happier for it." Richard's choice not only brought him peace, but also improved his relationships, as others felt less defensive and more valued in his presence. This shift in perspective allows us to reclaim time and energy that would otherwise be spent on conflict. We can channel that energy into pursuits that bring joy, whether it's deepening a hobby, spending time with loved ones, or simply enjoying the present moment. By disengaging from unnecessary debates, we embrace a calmer, more fulfilling way of living. And with this clarity of mind, we can move forward to another liberating realization: letting go of perfectionism. 6. Letting go of perfectionism. For much of our lives, we strive for perfection in our work, our relationships, our homes, and even our appearance. The pressure to achieve flawless results can be overwhelming, leaving us feeling like we're never quite enough. But after 60, a liberating realization takes hold. Perfection isn't just unattainable, it's unnecessary. Life's beauty lies in its imperfections. Letting go of perfectionism is a transformative shift. Instead of seeing wrinkles as flaws, we view them as markers of a life well lived. A messy but happy home becomes a source of warmth and comfort, not a reminder of tasks undone. By releasing the need to control every detail, we free ourselves from constant anxiety and open the door to peace and contentment. This shift is not about giving up on doing our best, it's about redefining what best means. Take Ellen, for example, a retired artist who spent years obsessing over every brushstroke in her paintings. "I used to feel paralyzed by the fear of making mistakes," she says. "But now I embrace the imperfections. They give my work character and tell a story." This mindset not only improved her art, but also deepened her appreciation for the creative process itself. Letting go of perfectionism also fosters self-compassion. We stop berating ourselves for mistakes and start viewing them as opportunities to learn and grow. Missing a deadline or burning dinner becomes less about failure and more about flexibility. This self-kindness ripples outward, helping us extend the same grace to others. With this new perspective, we begin to focus on what truly matters. Instead of stressing over achieving an idealized version of life, we cherish the real moments, the laughter shared over a slightly overcooked meal, the beauty of a sunrise that doesn't need a perfect Instagram filter, or the joy of spending time with loved ones without worrying about how the house looks. By releasing the burden of perfection, we reclaim our energy for the things that bring us genuine happiness. Life after 60 isn't about having everything figured out. It's about appreciating the journey with all its bumps and surprises. And in this acceptance of imperfection, we find a deeper, more authentic sense of fulfillment. Life after 60 is not about slowing down. It's about living with greater purpose and intention. By letting go of burdens like toxic relationships, perfectionism, or unrealistic expectations, we make space for joy, peace, and authenticity. This chapter of life is a time to savor the present, nurture meaningful connections, and embrace the freedom that comes with age. Which of these changes resonates most with you? Let us know in the comments and share your thoughts. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights to help you live your best years yet. Here's to a life well lived.